The Final Push for World Government by a great YouTube channel, Anafroy87, and a whole bunch of his videos with myself in it, I'm at the end of the video, are only for adults to see, or they're banned. Now that's what YouTube thinks you're not allowed to hear. Uplifting, incredible, mind-expanding information about thinking about how finite we are, but through that finiteness, connecting to our past, our present, our future, who we are on this planet. See, you can't hear things like that. You're not supposed to hear things like that. No, you're supposed to think about petty, mindless things that won't matter today or tomorrow, like a football game. While a scientific dictatorship programs you with advertising technologies and brainwashes you to where the person you think you are isn't even who you are. Hey, let's play Dr. Michael Kaufman from Endgame 1.5. Again, the DVD film, 2 hours and a half long, then an hour of extras. These were extras we put on line at prisonplanet.tv. And here's Dr. Kaufman reading from a major university study, U.S. government funded, in the 60s, about how they would control us and drug us and enslave us. And then here we are.
1965.
Hold on a minute. I'm not quite ready to go into that. Sorry. Here they are describing. I mean, there's thousands of these government documents and textbooks where they say they're putting fluoride in your water to sterilize you and to hurt you, and that it's a toxic sedative. There are thousands of these where they admit that they would get us all in debt, then implode our currency, then bring in a world government run by the banks. I mean, I read that from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And then they said in the 70s that we'll do this by around 2005, 2010. I mean, we're on a plan. And that's why I'm just an average guy from Texas who learned about all this. And I'm like, why don't people care? Look at the airplanes and the technology and the cell phones and all of it. Folks, the technology is even more advanced than that. And the social engineers, they do care. They are in control. Play Dr. Michael Kaufman.
Back in 1965, the Department of Health and Education and Welfare, HEW, sponsored a study to define how they're going to get from where they were then in 1965 to where we are now in the 21st century. They came out with a report in 1969 called the Behavioral Science Teacher Education Program that's now fully integrated within our educational program. And this is what they said, and I want to have you hang on to your hats because you will not believe what they planned to do back in 1965-69 and what is happening actually today. He said calculations of the future and how to modify it are no longer considered to be an obscure academic pursuit. Long-range planning and implementation of plans will be made by a technological scientific elite. This will strain the democratic fabric to the ripping point. The Protestant ethic will atrophy as more and more enjoyed a varied, leisured, and guaranteed sustenance. Work as a means to, and an end of living will diminish. Most people will tend to be hedonistic, and a dominant elite will provide the bread and circuses to keep social dissension and disruption at a minimum. A small elite will carry society's burdens. The resulting impersonal manipulation of most people's lifestyles will be softened by provision for pleasure-seeking and guaranteed physical necessities. The controlling elite will engage in power plays largely without the involvement of most of the people. And that is so true today. Most people have no idea what's going on in the international arena, have none. Almost all of this is being done in secrecy. Going on with this report, the society will be a leisurely one. People will study, play, and travel. Some will be in various stages of the drug-induced experiences. Each individual will receive at birth a multi-purpose identification which will have, amongst other things, extensive communications and control uses. Each individual will be saturated with ideas of information. Each will be self-selected. Other kinds will be imposed overtly by those who assume the responsibility for the other's actions. Relatively few individuals will be able to maintain control over their opinions. Most will be pawns of competing opinion molders. It's amazing how back in the 1960s they began the process of getting us to where we are right now. If you look at society today, almost every one of the characteristics that I read have come true.
All right, let's stop right there.
Planned society.
That's from Endgame 1.5. Yeah, the planned society. Now, did you hear that? They say that over and over again in thousands of government documents I've read. You don't control what you think. See, you out there laughing, you're driving back from a football game, feeling tough. You've got this false template, using your mammalian programming, using your natural instincts. They've gone in and programmed through those to literally devolve who you are, so you never become empowered, you never become self-actualized or conscious. And then Bill Joy, and there's thousands of examples, but I use this one a lot because it's easy to find. April issue 2000, Why the Future Doesn't Need Us, Wired Magazine, owner of Sun Microsystems, worth however many billions. He goes to a globalist meeting. He comes out and he goes, my God, they're planning to kill the majority of the public. See, they decided we're not going to have everybody living in leisure and all this stuff with the technology. We're going to go ahead and just build a police state grid, use fake terror to get them clamped down, then implode the economy, then bring in even more control, then have controlled bioweapon releases. And they just put this in a magazine right in your face. And then I'm weird because I'll come in here and give you chapter and verse and date and document in your face. Oh, God help us. I mean, I feel connected to all humanity. I love everybody. It was a beautiful day today. I love my children, my wife. I want to help people. I'm not a cold-blooded bastard, and I know this stuff, and the slaves will laugh at you when you warn them. They want to be slaves. They want to be dumb. They want, because they have been taught to love the false template they're living in. They have been taught to love the false paradigm they've been conditioned into. Now, a lot of them are waking up, folks, but I mean, I can tell you 2.5 years ago that they're going to pop the subprime mortgage, but that won't really be the cause, and that they're going to take over and steal trillions because we go cover the elite meetings. I mean, I have like foreign intelligence agencies following me around every day now, folks. We have it on video. I mean, I'm living in Twilight Zone to bring you this information. It all happens. I tell you 5 weeks ago exactly what's going to happen. Exactly what I say is going to happen because these bastards are all public about it. They said in 1974 in the Trilateral Commission minutes that were declassified in the mid-'80s, out of Jimmy Carter's administration, they were going to do all this. These people are in control. Do you got it? They're eugenicists. They're neo-feudal lords. And if you don't know what neo-feudalism is, you better find out real fast. Let me tell you, that Titans game today didn't matter. That Red Sox game, isn't going to matter in 6 months. None of that matters, folks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, let's take a call before we go to break here. We're going to come back, and I'm going to just accelerate through your calls. Mike, Teresa, and others. We're going to get to everybody. Loaded phone lines here. Just give each caller about a minute or so. I meant to get more into the bailout, but whatever. If you don't want to believe me, if you don't want to check into it, that was really a foreign banking takeover, that they're openly announcing world government run by the banks. You'll pay your carbon taxes into them. Both parties in every major nation are for it. I mean, my God, ladies and gentlemen, if you won't listen to me, there's nothing I can do. I can't help you. You can watch my film Endgame for free, by the way, online, or get the DVD at Infowars.com. Just Google Endgame, for God's sakes, please.